After working away from home for many years, the man returned to his hometown driving a luxury car worth tens of millions. But he was mocked, with people saying the car was rented because the village chief's son earned over $10,000 a month and could only afford an ordinary car. So they simply didn't believe that the man could, within just a few years, afford a luxury car worth tens of millions. Yet no one knew that the man controlled assets worth hundreds of billions and had just returned to the country and acquired the Fortune 500 Bryant Group. The reason he had achieved what he had today was entirely because the villagers had pooled money years ago to let him go work outside. Now that the man had risen to great success, he decided to repay the villagers for their kindness. So he planned to buy up 60,000 jinn of unsold vegetables in the village. The man had his subordinates drive his luxury car ahead to handle the purchase while he went to see his wife and son, whom he hadn't seen in many years. Just as the man's family was reunited, the village chief's son suddenly appeared. He bragged about having just bought a $100,000 car while claiming the man didn't even have a car, saying it was truly pathetic. The mother-in-law at the side also blamed the man for being incapable, saying he was nothing compared to the village chief's son. The village chief's son had joined the Fortune 500 Bryant Group and had even brought an agricultural assistance project to the village. All 60,000 jinn of vegetables had been purchased by the Bryant Group. The village chief's son was practically the pride of the entire village. The man wasn't even worthy of carrying the village chief's son's shoes. Hearing this, the man finally understood that the village chief's son had taken credit for his achievements. The man angrily said that he himself was the chairman of the Bryant Group. Then he immediately called his assistant to come pick him up, but no one present believed him at all. They thought the man was just bragging. Even the man's wife didn't believe him, thinking he had poor character. Only the son was willing to believe his father. After the man left with his son, the assistant finally arrived with a group of people. The village chief's son smugly said he had just driven the man away. The assistant slapped the village chief's son across the face. Then he led his people to chase after the man. At this moment, the man was walking with his son. Dozens of luxury cars suddenly stopped in front of them. The assistant got out of the cars with a group of people and respectfully greeted the man. The little boy looked at the assistant in surprise and asked about the vegetable purchase. The assistant told the boy that all of this was because his father wanted to help the villagers, because the man was indeed the chairman of the Bryant Group. The little boy looked at his father in awe. The man solemnly said he would definitely make it up to his son. Next, the man instructed the assistant to prepare large amounts of food and cash planning to give every villager $5,000 in cash, along with enough food to last 3 months. The assistant was about to go purchase the food, but before leaving, he handed the official seal of the Bryant Group to the man, saying it would be needed later to sign for the food delivery. So the man drove the luxury car back to the village with his son first. The villagers were decorating the village, preparing to welcome the chairman of the Bryant Group. Soon, a luxury car appeared. The villagers all watched the car expectantly. They thought the assistant would step out of the car, but unexpectedly, it was the man who got out. Seeing that the man was now living so well, the villagers were genuinely happy for him. Just then, the village chief's son returned to the village with the man's wife and mother-in-law. The village chief's son immediately denied that the man had become successful and firmly insisted that the man's car was rented, saying the man was faking it just to satisfy his vanity. The wife also looked at the man with disappointment. Even though the son tried to explain for his father, they simply didn't believe it. The villagers also began to suspect that the man was pretending to be rich. The man said he was truly the chairman of the Bryant Group and that the assistant would soon arrive with cash and food. He promised he wouldn't treat any villager unfairly, but the village chief's son became even angrier. He was afraid the man's nonsense would anger the assistant and cause the vegetable purchase to be canceled. So he ordered people to drive the man out of the village. Just at that moment, the assistant finally arrived.